Hey everyone, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Mike Catalana alongside Dan Fates. Please like, comment, and subscribe as we try and cheer you up on this non-victory Monday, but we'll try and put all of this into perspective, the good and the bad, as where the Bills look moving forward. Mike, what happened?
I think this offense has a lot of issues. You know, last year...
That is crazy to say.
Yeah, last year it looked easy.
Yeah.
It looked easy. They were moving the ball. They didn't run it great, but you would take the way they ran the ball last year in a heartbeat compared to this year. And the reason I say that is this offensive line doesn't have anything as a go-to. Really, this entire offense at the moment doesn't have anything that's a go-to. You know, whether it's Beasley on the slants or Diggs down the field or Sanders getting in those spots or Dawson Knox if he can get him back soon. There's no go-tos. And Josh Allen got left to try to
carry everything.
Yeah, and he went too soon into hero mode, and it cost them. I mean, he was really bad. So going forward, this team has to get back to basics. I hate to say it, fundamentals and basics, and start to say, we got to find something we do well offensively in order to move forward. Don't go by the total numbers about how many points they've scored all year. The offense is struggling, and it was atrocious in the game in Jacksonville.
So it's very fitting because you talked about this offense has real problems, and I couldn't imagine saying that 3 weeks ago.
No.
But they have real problems, like you said. And looking back and now digesting this as you're watching this on Monday, the fact that this loss feels so much different than the previous two losses in the sense of against Pittsburgh, well, look at Tennessee. One play, it just happened, so on and so forth. You move on. You can say, oh, well. The Pittsburgh loss, the Bills were very confident coming out of that loss to be like, hey, just didn't have a game. That's what happens. Don't panic. Don't overreact. This one feels like we should overreact a little bit,
Well,
Mike.
of course we should overreact because, I mean, the Pittsburgh is Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger and a series of really good players who were angry at the Bills because the Bills had beaten them the last few years. And then the Titans lost. Derrick Henry's a stud, and Tannehill can make some plays, and it's on the road on a Monday night. Those are just real, regular NFL games. Here, this team hadn't won on this continent since the first game of last season.
420 days.
Yeah, so this is the Jags. They stink. I mean, they're a bad team. And if you're a Jaguars fan watching this, I know the Bills were much, much worse. But look, come on, you're talking about the Jaguars. And it wasn't like it was just one of those crazy days where Trevor Lawrence figured it all out.
Right.
And they're chucking the ball. No, you couldn't get a touchdown. You weren't even really all that close to scoring a touchdown. It was abysmal in this game. And this is why I say going forward, I'm like drawing board here. I'm going back to it. I'm looking at everything we do. Everything is subject to change. Well, I mean, Josh Allen isn't getting benched. You're not sitting Stephon, and we're not talking about that. But man, that O-line is an issue. And if they get Feliciano back and they get Spencer Brown back, I guess you're going to say that'll be better. But I don't think it fixes everything.
It's better than what it is.
Yeah.
Because it was bad. We had talked before this game that Cody Ford, this was kind of his last chance. It was not good on Sunday, and I don't care. You don't need to wait to be all 22 to know that Cody Ford didn't play well. So looking at the big picture of the conference, look, the Bengals a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, they were flying high. They had beaten the Ravens. It was their big game. They've now lost 2 in a row. They're now in the last place in their division. Mike, I know we're cliches here, but like, is that just life in the NFL? Because that's how the Bills are trying to play it off as.
It is, but you know, there's real competition in the AFC.
Yep.
The Bills are not a dominant team. They're 5-3. I never quite got the whole national guys saying, well, the Bills are the clear favorite for the Super Bowl. They blew a game in the second half against the Titans and then played kind of lousy against the Dolphins. But everybody else, to your point, was taking a step back.
Yeah.
But the issue isn't as much the conference right now. The evil empire is right behind them.
Mac Jones is playing good.
Yeah, he's playing well. I mean, he had a couple of turnovers in the game, but look, their defense was good. I don't care if it's against Carolina. The Bills just lost to Jacksonville. New England's a half a game behind them. They have 2 games with the Patriots coming up this year. This is massive for them. This is where you've got to prove who you are, not who everybody else seems to think you are. I'm worried right now. I mean, again, I thought they'd have blowouts the last 2 weeks. You just take wins and move on. This is an issue. everything is in play. And I know you're upset. I know fans are upset. I know sometimes after the game it's fire McDermott, fire Daboll, all that kind of. None of that is happening. But those guys got to earn what they make and go back and try to figure it all out.
Yeah, I was saying that before this. We looked at this and we joked around that the Bills had a bye month. It has been anything but. It has been somewhat of a disastrous month so far over the last few weeks between the bye, before the loss. Look, they've lost 2 out of their last 3 games. I've said on this channel multiple times that I thought this was a get-right game or a game to pad the stats and to feel good about yourself. That should have been this game on Sunday, and it wasn't. Up next, Mike, looking ahead, it's the Jets.
Yeah. Well, they won't be 14-point favorites again. I don't care how the Jets are. This Bills team needs to figure things out. It's got to be about.
They're going to face another team with 10 days rest.
Yeah, that's fine. It's got to be about the Bills themselves, not about the opponent. Don't worry about being big favorites. Don't worry about. Go out and play like you can play. That's what they have to do. Like you said, the defense is not an issue. The offense is the big issue on this team. Wow, how things have changed. And the penalties were a disaster in the game on Sunday. This team needs to get back to playing smart, disciplined Bills football. They didn't do that. They've got to change all this. Second half of the year is coming up.
They just seem like a team on the sidelines, even in the press conferences, have lost their swagger.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're a guy that has always done one thing and it's worked really well, and it's been Josh Allen and this offense and Stephon Diggs, and it's not working. I just go back to Emmanuel Sanders back after week 1 where it said, life in the NFL. When you lose, everybody thinks you're never going to win again. And when you win, you're the greatest thing since milk was invented.
Yeah, well, they need a little milk here. And the other part is there's a saying in the NFL, every week you celebrate when you win, and when you lose, it is panic. And I do believe inside that building, it's a bit of panic right now because this is not a Super Bowl team.
That's what I thought as they are turning the lights off on us here. Perfect timing. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Plenty more coverage, as always, on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. They are really turning the lights out on us. For Mike Catalana, I'm Dan Fates. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.